Alright, let's see what this is. Going to be like 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 2.
Order. Court is now in session. When we left it off yesterday, we had established there were several potential suspects, rather than just a defendant. Mr. Williamson, what have you found about this? The prosecution has taken the time to speak with the site's administrator. I assure you, Your Honor, that Mr. Books is the only reasonable suspect. An administrator? He runs this website? Yes, that's correct. I think I'm starting to get this internet stuff. That talk you gave me yesterday after the trial must have really helped. Thank you for that. Yes, Your Honor.
I can't imagine a website administrator is much different from any other administrator. It shouldn't be too hard to grasp that concept.
Your Honor, if you don't mind, I'd like to avoid any potential distractions and begin the trial. That sounds like a good idea. Shall we bring in your witness? Certainly. The administrator will be speaking for us today. He can give evidence and testimony for Mr. Book's guilt. Well then, why don't you introduce him to us? As you wish.
Maya, is Williamson acting strange? What do you mean? I can't put my finger on it, but he seems rather tense today. I don't know. Isn't he always kind of tense? Point taken. Maybe I'm just seeing things. It's odd though. He doesn't seem as assertive as he usually does. Yesterday's trial must have really shaken him up.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Sim-san wa desu. Boku wa administrator wa desu. Very good. Now in English.
Fucking gaijin! Such ethnocentrism.
We're not continuing this trial until you introduce yourself in a way that everybody here will understand. I am Anton Sims, site administrator for Ace Fan Club. Mr. Sims, as administrator, you have full access to the website, correct?
So desu, sensei. It is my duty to make sure the site is running at its full potential. That isn't possible if the members are killing each other.
The prosecution would like to present this screenshot. It was taken by the witness. He was kind enough to provide it with us yesterday. Oh my, that looks like a confession from the defendant. Why didn't he come forward with this before?
Ah, gomen, Judge Sama. You see, I didn't realize right away that I was connected to your trial. Were you there yesterday? No. I found out about the case yesterday when Sensei spoke to me. That's odd. Didn't you say you go to all my trials?
I couldn't this time. It was a first. I was preoccupied?
Gomen nasai.
Nobody cares if you missed the trial yesterday. You had no obligation to come. The issue at hand is the confession made online. The prosecution requested Mr. Sims' help in the case, and he gave it.
This guy isn't helping anybody but himself.
Mr. Sims, this court requests that you testify about the new evidence you have given.
Hi, Sensei. I will do whatever it takes for you to uncover the truth.
As will I.
As will I. That's Noob-san admitted to the crime on my site. The message was posted at 3:50, which I believe was around the time of the murder. As you can see, this confession links directly to the flame war earlier. The motive and opportunity are both very clear. Come in, Wright-san, but your client is guilty.
With this confession, I don't believe it will be hard to establish the defendant's guilt.
Arigato, Judge-sama. I am glad I could help.
Before we begin, I have a question.
Hi. Nani desu ka?
What exactly is a screen cap? I'm trying to picture how that would work.
It's just a picture that I took from my computer. Nothing special.
It's not an actual cap that you put on the computer, Your Honor.
Oh, well,
it did have me a little confused there. Now that we have that out of the way, right, cross-examination.
Alright, first things first though, I want to look at that IP log again. Alright, so Pure Madness, Mass Noob. In theory that does line up. Okay, so 24th, 3:50 a.m. He signs on at exactly that time. So does Pure Madness. 87. I don't see anyone else at that location though. Alright. Bad player, 13. Alright. He was definitely dead at 3:50. And that logged on at his house. Where was he on the 22nd? Whatever. Doesn't really matter right now. Why do you keep referring to him as Masked Noob? That's the only way I've ever known him. It seems weird calling him by his real name. Well, if it's just Masked Noob you saw posting, then maybe someone else wrote it. Anybody can use a computer.
Do you want to take a guess as to why that's not likely in this case?
Maybe?
The message was posted from his home.
That's in a different part of town.
Doesn't matter. At that time of the night, the roads would be clear enough that he could kill the victim and return home, all within the time frame given by the autopsy. Assuming he broke a few traffic laws in the process, of course.
Mr. Williamson, how do you know where he wrote the message?
The site's IP logs shows where each user logged on from. The name Masked Noob has been used from the same location each time, his apartment.
Ah, I get it. This technology stuff isn't as hard as I thought it was.
Anyways, because it was accessed from the same place, there's no reason to suspect anybody but Mr. Books did it.
If only that IP log showed when people signed off. This would be so much easier. That does fall within the range given by the autopsy. You see? It makes perfect sense. I can't really argue with this one. The message was definitely posted at that time, and the murder happened then too. I'm going to have to prove Sims wrong some other way. This evidence is perfect. A bit too perfect if you ask me. No further questions on this point. Go on. Hi, so? Everything seems to be going back to that, doesn't it? Well, it is the catalyst for this case, me. After yesterday, I'm not so sure about that anymore. Could you explain your thinking to me a bit more? Well, it's rather simple. They conspired to kill him, and then later Masked Noob-san said he had done it. Rather sad, since I don't think the others were being serious. Gimmel, it does give a very clear motive for him. It does? Hi, I believe this is very clear. Why don't we talk about that then? What was the motive? Fame. Fame? It's all there in your chat log. He saw a chance to become infamous throughout the internet, and he took it. Why would anybody do that? Who would want to become famous with people who don't even know who you are? And he couldn't ever admit to it. There'd be no recognition at all.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? A ridiculous motive for a ridiculous case. Besides, he was already on bad terms with the victim. You might say there were multiple motives.
What about the opportunity? As you already know, Masked Noob's son doesn't have an alibi. Yes, I knew that. But how did you? You said you didn't go to the trial the other day. Did you ever mention that part to him, Williamson?
No.
Well, Mr. Sims? Wakarimasen? Well, I have an opening. Better take it. Mr. Sims, I'd like you to update your testimony. Hi. Could you explain again how you knew that? What?
Mr. Sims, you're only making yourself look bad here. Can you just tell us?
One of the other users told me? Hi, that's right. One of the other users was at the trial yesterday, and he posted about it online. Nah, that's not what happened at all. I can tell just by looking at his posture. This guy is really bad at lying. Did you notice it too, Nick? Yes, I did. This guy couldn't hide a needle in a haystack, much less a lie. He's clearly not one of the more cunning people we've been up against. Right. Well, you know what to do. Just point out that contradiction. Save. Present. IP log. Look at the last time Masked Noob was on. That's over an hour before the murder.
When was the last time you checked that chart?
Huh?
It doesn't state the log-off times. Only when the user got on. He could easily have been using the site that entire time.
Time really flies by online. I learned that the hard way. I guess that's right. He told us his connection died, but looking at this chart, there'd be no way to know that. But I know I'm on the right track. Something about these times is off. I just need to keep looking for something related to the time of the murder. Ah, come on. I want to present page 3. But, hey, if he has the alibi from being online an hour before the crime... Objection! Ah, fine, whatever. Okay. Alright, if I present here, and then save, so I don't mess up and load again, and have to do this over again, I could present it again, maybe. Objection! Look at the last time Masked Noob was on. Ah, dang it. Come on, I need to connect that with... Objection! Objection! Ah, dang it. Alright, not that. Save again. Objection! Not that. Oh, dang it. Okay, there we go. I'd like to thank you, Mr. Sims. You've given my client an alibi. Nani? That 500 topic you showed me yesterday. There were several people I spoke to it about it, and they all agreed on something. And that's that my client was most definitely a part of that conversation. He was busy trying to get the final post of that topic. That would have taken up a good chunk of his night. Baka! Do you really think that counts as an alibi? In this case, it might. According to the site's log, Mr. Books never signed on from anywhere but his home computer. I believe Williamson brought this up earlier. If he did indeed post that message, then it was from his apartment, clear across the city.
Objection! This still doesn't qualify as an alibi. You've even admitted yourself that we have no way of knowing if it was Mr. Books using the account.
You think he got somebody else to post it to create an alibi for himself?
I didn't say that, but it's nice to see you're admitting the possibility.
That's conjecture, Your Honor.
I believe you are the one who brought it up, Mr. Wright. The defense raises a good point. I support his theory that Mr. Books conspired with somebody he trusted to post that message.
Drat, I rocked right into that one. I'm going to need something more solid to beat this guy. This confession is going to be the end of my case. It's airtight. Although, doesn't that seem a little weird? Maya, remember what pure madness told us yesterday? Really? Son, that man's lying to you. Everybody who was there can tell you that bad player posted it himself. Yeah, I do. That's been bugging me for a while. How did they get a picture of Mr. Books posting it when it was somebody else? You don't think... I do. It's a bit risky, but it's the only route we could take. Mr. Williamson, I have a problem with this screen cap of yours.
As the man's attorney, I can imagine you would.
This goes beyond it just proving him guilty. I mean, there's something really wrong with it. That evidence has been forged! What?
How dare you! You of all people are going to try and accuse me of that?
I have a witness who can testify that she remembers something completely different.
She? This better not be the same woman from yesterday.
Well, actually...
You believe her after that? I promise you nobody else in this courtroom will.
I will not accept further testimony from her. However, you are making a very serious accusation against the prosecution. I want you to show proof that this picture has been forged. Alright. Look at the last time Masnu was on. That's over an hour before the murder.
When was the last time you checked that chart?
Huh?
It doesn't state the log-off times.
Damn it. Same thing. Oh geez, did it get bigger? Aha! 349. The proof is in the picture itself. If you look closely, something is off. What part of it is suspicious? Look at the times posted here. The posts are going in reverse order.
So, many sites give the option to decide what order you view things in. Perhaps Mr. Sims just has his account set up differently.
Hi, so desu? I might accept that if it weren't for the fact that this whole section looks rather iffy. If you look closely, you can see that the area around the timestamp is a different color. Then, the lines are a bit blurred as well. The pixels are all wrong.
Why, you're right. Why is that?
It's because somebody copied and pasted that part onto there. The timestamp and username come from a different part of the site. It wasn't Mr. Books who said that.
Objection. Pixels? You're getting upset over a few pixels?
I am. After what your witness told me and Mr. Books saying that his connection died, I don't believe for a second that post is made by my client.
The IP log doesn't show log-off times. You can't.
I can't prove it? Maybe not. But this chart isn't the only way to find out things. I'm sure Mr. Books' internet provider would do a fine job of telling us if he lost power. Just look at the witness. You can see just how keen he is on that idea.
Mr. Sims? This isn't what it looks like. Mr. Williamson, I hope you have a good explanation for this. You know how I feel about forgeries. Your Honor, I would never!
Hold on, Your Honor. I believe him.
You do?
It wouldn't be like you to do something like that. I never claimed you were the one who made it.
Well then, who did?
I want to throw him under the bus, but I also want to throw him under the bus. But he's the one who's here. It was our witness, the one who gave us the evidence in the first place. Anton Sims.
Well, right, Summer. This hurts. I couldn't do this to you.
Mr. Sims, you were the one who presented the evidence. You were the one who gave it to the prosecution when asked. You were in a perfect position to manipulate it to your liking. And out of everybody on AF, you are the only one claiming that Masked Noob made that comment. Let's see you give an excuse for that.
Mr. Sims, did you forge that picture?
Nasai?
Answer him!
Hey, I did it!
If the defendant didn't write that, then who did? It was bad player, Judge Sama, the victim. This is a serious crime, and you will certainly be punished for it later. I'll be certain of that.
Wakarimasita.
Perhaps you would like to explain your actions?
No, I would not.
Whether it's here or in a police interrogation, I'm going to drag this out of you. You nearly just cost me my job.
Shiku, Sensei. I know my rights. You can't force me to testify about something that would incriminate me.
So you're admitting your guilt?
This guy really doesn't want to talk about this. That shouldn't matter. The prosecution once again is left without a case. With no witnesses and no decisive evidence, the rest of this trial should be a walk in the park. The defense has no further questions for the witness.
Phew. Very well. The witness will submit himself to the police and will have his own trial at a later date. For now, let's continue the current case. Mr. Williamson, did you have any further evidence for us? None at the time, Your Honor.
Once again, it looks like you're down to circumstantial evidence. Your Honor, it doesn't look like either of us has anything more to say. Why don't we just let the jurists make their decision?
Perhaps. Mr. Williamson? No objections. Very well, no conclusive proof has been given. I will hand things over to... Wait! Judge Sama, I changed my mind. I'll tell you anything you want. I'll do it. I'll tell you why I made up that screenshot. Defense? Prosecution? What are your thoughts on this? As long as we're getting answers, I'm fine.
I know this guy's going to be lying some more. And where there's a lie, there's a contradiction. The defense will accept further testimony.
Mr. Sims, this court will hear you again. You are already guilty of perjury and submitting falsified evidence. Keep in mind that lying more will only make things worse for yourself. Hi, I understand. Masked Noob-san is still the killer. He may have forced me into covering for him. It was always in the plan that I would take the fall here. I can't lie for him anymore. He is the obvious culprit.
Isn't it strange? Just moments ago you were refusing to testify. Now you're begging for another chance? Why is that?
What, Tashi? Does it matter? At least he's talking.
What?
Perhaps I spoke too soon.
I don't believe this guy's the real villain. He's too much of a coward. However, he's definitely hiding something. Now for me to reveal it. What evidence do you have to prove this?
Evidence?
Ja Aramesin? But I have testimony. I swear to you that it was him. After what you've done, your testimony hardly means anything. Well, right, Sama. Go, man. I didn't have a choice. Let me explain. He may have. Just tell us, did he or didn't he? He did. You seem very unsure of that. I'm very sure. You're stuttering an awful lot for someone who's so sure. Am I? It must be a nervous habit of his. Well, at least it's not something gross like sweaty armpits. That would just be nasty. Mr. Sims, before we continue, I'm going to want a more confident answer out of you. Hi, Judge Sama. He did it. Master Noob-san forced me to do it.
Thank you. You may continue.
He forced me into covering for him. That sounds better. Could you expand on this? Hi, he threatened me. He told me if I didn't cover for him, that he would... He threatened me. Did you just cut yourself off there? Were you going to say something? No. Mr. Sims, you can't hold anything back from us.
I find the specifics of this to be rather irrelevant. What the threats were is less important than the why.
Hi, it was because he wanted a not guilty verdict. Mr. Books, he scared you into doing that? He isn't the least bit intimidating.
Says you.
Have you even taken a look at the guy?
A seemingly naive and innocent man who is actually a crazed sociopath. I'm sure none of us here have ever taken a case with somebody like that.
Oh, that's not true, Mr. Williamson. I know Mr. Wright did one time.
Thank you for pointing that out, Your Honor.
You would willingly go along with something like that? It wasn't willingly. He forced me to do it.
We just covered the fact that he was forced into it. No need to go over it again.
Nick, did you catch that? I did. It sounded like he was about to say they instead of he. I have a feeling I know who that they may have been. Maybe I misjudged this guy. Could you explain what you mean when you say you were meant to take the fall? He wanted me to manipulate the juris system. When my picture was proven to be a forgery, it would look bad on the prosecution. He'd appear to be a victim, and they'd sympathize with him.
I suppose that's one potential flaw with the system.
You'd rather have us go back to the old way?
Did I say that?
No, not exactly.
Jumping to conclusions as always. You may continue, Mr. Sims.
What makes you say that? All those from the Flame War are suspects, Nick. Master Noob-san is the only one of them who could have reasonably killed Bad Player Son. Reasonably? I just proved he had an alibi.
And we've explained how it may have been fabricated.
Fabricated? You mean like everything this man has said? Please write Sama. He made me do it. I forged the screenshot and nothing else. I promise. Now that I think about it, there may be a way to get this guy to talk. It'll take a bit of bluffing. And I might feel guilty about this later. He really wants to get Mr. Books found guilty, doesn't he? There's obviously something really important motivating him here. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find it. I hope Mr. Sims realizes the position he's putting himself into right now. This next part may take a bit of bluffing. That's the only way to get through this. Alright, I don't know where I'm going to present this, but I'm pretty sure it's the Ravalis family. Objection! Objection! Nope. Objection! Alright, where was it? represent here?
Objection!
Nope. Whoops, dang it.
Objection!
Maybe it's this?
Objection!
Well, that's just not true at all. Why don't we take our list of users and narrow things down? Our witness from yesterday was 3,000 feet in the air. We learned yesterday that she uses multiple accounts. 2 of those appeared in the Flame War. We can cross off both. Bad player, being the victim, can be ruled out. Samurai Justice and Stranger to Love never participated in the Flame War. If that was truly the catalyst as you claim, they couldn't be involved. So by your own logic, we can exclude them. This leaves Masked Noob and... Ah! Funny, isn't that your username? Mr. Sims, if we are to accept things the way you say they happen, then it looks like you too are a suspect. With all you've done to lead us off track today, I'd say that makes you very suspicious. You killed Bad Player, didn't you?
Mr. Sims, this is true!
No! Vasu, I didn't do it!
You have a lot to answer for.
But please believe me, Sensei. I didn't want any of this. They made me do it.
Who did?
I can't tell you. They won't let me. They've been forcing me to cooperate. They told me that if I didn't, they would kill my mother. You're a flawless family. It has to be them. Please, I didn't kill anyone. I just had to save my mother.
And that's why you forced the screenshot?
That other man, they wanted me to cover for him. He posts on my site all the time. I've known about it, but they wouldn't let me do anything. After the murder, I was told to keep people on the boards from talking about it. Otherwise, they might start figuring things out.
This man, who is he?
I don't think he's going to say anymore. It will have to be me. This is the user the family wanted him to cover for. Stranger to Love. He's a poster on your site. I always see him on, but he never says anything. Maybe he has some other kind of agenda, like using your site to coordinate his actions.
So when a user who doesn't write much is a psychotic killer? Okay.
This person's been acting rather suspicious. Mr. Sims, you have full access to everything on AF, correct? Hi. Then maybe you could get us on this account. If anything shady is going on, you can find it right away. We don't have a warrant. Wouldn't that be an invasion of privacy?
Not at all. As owner of the site, the witness would be able to grant us full access. All we need is his okay.
Well, Mr. Sims, what do you think? Log us under Stranger to Love and we can settle this.
Sims can't help you there.
That reaction. Mr. Sims was clearly terrified of this man. Have they met?
The account Stranger to Love was deleted last night. It no longer exists.
It was deleted? What happened? And who are you?
I'm the man running this case. As for your other questions, it appears the family got to it. They realized they were about to be caught and rushed to erase all evidence. This is what I get for letting you all tamper with my case!
Aren't there any backups for the information?
No! They forced Sims to delete everything related to that account. It's as if it never existed. Isn't that right, Sims?
Hi. So desu.
What are you doing here, Takomara? Shouldn't you be at your crime scene? That can wait. Wright managed to convince me yesterday that the two cases are very much interlinked. As such, I've put in a request to my superiors for the two to be merged into one. Under my supervision, of course. Right!
What? I didn't...
Judge, I will testify. As the lead man here, I can give you a full accounting of what I've found. Do we have a choice? No, you don't. 11 books were both with the family. They were working together! They used the site to coordinate their actions. Sims was in on it too. They bullied him into cooperating. But then Books betrayed his partner and killed him. His supposed alibi, it was prearranged for him. Forged!
Now just a minute. I still don't quite understand who you are.
I'm Agent Togameru.
Togamera
From the Federal Bureau.
Ah, so you're the FBI agent that Detective Waters mentioned.
I am. I've been tasked with uncovering the crimes of both the victim and his accomplice. The search has proven very fruitful.
You know what? I'm gonna stop this here.